all of this and going over to some other points and ignoring this fact completely.
No, nobody's ignoring anything. Basically, this is a board meeting, and if you would just wait until, I'll open it up later, and you can ask any questions you'd like.
Okay.
Until we get this settled, okay. No matter what Mr. DeBose said, everybody still has an opinion. I mean, you obviously don't agree with it on certain points.
Common area is common area, period.
Nobody disputes that.
Okay, but it is written here, and in that second letter, he reiterates that same thing. You're somehow or other, you're interpreting it completely different than what his intention is. Okay, he's saying that it's clearly the association's responsibility until there's an amendment made to the documents. Okay? And I'm saying there is a solution.
Well, I'm saying that
either ignore the dirty sidewalks that exist, or hire a company to come in and do the whole neighborhood.
We should have a meeting with him so we can clarify this, that's all.
Don't put it off, don't put it off.
You don't need we don't need to pay for that meeting.
There's other things we could do besides clean the sidewalks.
Oh, I'm sure.
We could, have a...
I'm only concerned about what our responsibility is.
It's not our responsibility.
It's all our responsibility.
And so I think that we need to look at all the different options we have. I'm glad you got those estimates, and I did ask you to get estimates so we would know how many dollars we're talking about. But I see other liability concerns in terms of would our insurance company cover us for liability if we tried to do this? Maybe we have these painted driveways that we wouldn't want some contractor to damage. So there's a lot of concerns that I have from a financial standpoint, other than, and the easiest thing to do is just ask people to do their own sidewalks until we get this resolved. We don't have to resolve it tonight.
What about landscapers coming in doing everybody's property? Nobody has a problem with that. We're talking about guys power washing the sidewalks. They don't touch the driveways because that's an appurtenance, or a tuberance, as you say. It's an appurtenance, okay, because it gets you from the street into your house.
I'm talking about somebody walking down the sidewalk. Now it's association's responsibility. If they fall and get hurt,
it's already...
It is the association's responsibility.
That's the one, that's another thing that we have to look into.
you have to insure them.
First of all, your sidewalk is a right-of-way. It's a right-of-way over the common area.
Yeah, it's already your responsibility.
Right.
As an association. So I don't know what you're talking about with the insurance.
Oh, well,
you can look into a
No, I'm sorry, but the management company brought that up, that before you start making any decisions on anything, that you best check with the insurance company. Because first of all, if these appurtenances, tuberance, whatever you want to call them, they are attachments to your property. And basically, you are responsible for them.
No.
Well, once you take them over and start cleaning them as an association, a line item in the association or whatever, now you've added liability. Well, you know what? You don't think so? I don't know so. So the basic thing is, these are the things that we need to check. And secondly of all, we all have sprinkler systems in that portion of the common area. All those sprinkler systems are attached to everybody's house. The water, I pay for that water.
I think those are the appurtenances that they're referring to in the documents, because that's what the builder gave you when you got the house. He put your sprinkler heads and saw.
No, we paid for the sprinklers and we paid for the sidewalk. The association did not put in the sidewalk, the builder did.
Well, according
So
to the docs,
this is the
sidewalks
clarification we need.
Well, we got one lawyer's opinion already. You want to go to John Spears? I'll vote tonight to get John Spears' opinion too. You keep bringing up that old email from him. Let him put his 2 cents in. And this way, hey, we can't argue anymore.
I attached it for you.
No, I don't want to see the email. I want to hire John Spears now to look at our documents and say those things.
It was in the minutes for that
was for 1999. He said something at a meeting. The homeowners only have the documents to go by. They don't go to the meeting.
He
to see
approved
John
those
Spear.
documents for the builder,
No.
for Montpellier.
Okay, and the documents say that the sidewalks
And he
are common area.
clarified it
Well, he clarified it to who?
You weren't here.
to the
Yeah,
homeowners.
nobody was there. All people.
I was
If
there.
he clarified it, it should be in writing in the document.
It is.
It's not.
It's not in the documents. It's part of the record of the association.
Well,
For
it was never changed
just
in
like the
town
same
plan.
thing as that Mr. Spears came to our meeting, and what he said, that's part of our
I
record.
hate to tell you you're wrong, but you're wrong.
You're
Well,
wrong.
I don't know
I'll
why I
defend
would be
you-
right.
I'll defend you 100% when you're right.
Well, the whole thing is, there's gotta be a simpler solution. You know, as far as I'm concerned, if the homeowner doesn't pay his share to maintain what's attached to his property, you know, maybe it's not findable, doesn't say it's not billable. How simple would that be?
That sounds great. Just leave it alone.
Yes,
Okay.
clean their sidewalk and bill them. We do the same
No,
thing.
No,
No, you don't bill them. If they want a dirty sidewalk, leave it alone. God, Bill, yours aren't any cleaner than mine.
I'm gonna clean, I was seeing how this is gonna fly. I'll be out there
We're
tomorrow.
not gonna pay
Ernie's
$20.
gonna help.
I don't wanna pay
You want me to
$20
hire
to pay
you?
yours, because I'm gonna do mine for
Well,
free.
like Gail said, there's too many things that are, now you've got all these fancy driveways, okay? Some have all these pavers and whatever. Now, all of this goes right down to the road. It goes over the sidewalk area.
They don't
Now, what
touch it.
happens if you take over, clean the sidewalks, and you start, and you break these pavers? Now, we're responsible for replacing the pavers that are
Common
going across the right-of-way?
It's common area. You're responsible for it anyway.
No, you're not. The driveway is one of the appurtenances she's talking about. If the the driveway crosses the common area, you're responsible for your driveway.
But if a
Period.
contractor damages it, who's responsible?
The contractor won't damage it, he doesn't touch it, he just does the sidewalk.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this discussion until we get some more answers to some of these questions.
Yeah, I said.
I make a motion that we table this discussion until we get, till the next meeting, until we get an answer to these other questions about liability
Yes, we gotta get to the bottom.
and, other requirements.
We don't care if we have to pay it or not, because
Oh.
the people pay it anyway.
I mean,
Long run, they're gonna
basically,
pay
now
for it.
you've got all these
The
things,
expenses go up,
Bill.
your assessment goes up.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a
Hold on.
second to the motion?
I cut down money on the lake company when I was president.
Come on, Bill,
I spent
let's
only
pass
about
that. Don't
$5,000
pat yourself
on
on the
water.
back.
All right, wait a minute, Bill, we have a motion on the floor. We have a motion on the floor. There's a second to the motion. Is there any other discussion?
and I asked for
Yes.
discussion.
No.
Yes, you can do that.
This is a board meeting. Excuse
and-
me, I will call on you later when I open the meeting up.
You don't vote on it, how can we discuss it?
All right, there's a motion on the floor first.
This is a board discussion on the motion.
On the motion.
So they
Okay.
They can't interrupt.
Is there a second, there is a second to the motion?
Second.
Okay,
The motion is to table this.
That's
the
right.
motion is to table this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And what do
Okay.
we resolve by tabling it?
We move on
Well,
tonight.
we have to, there have been issues brought up here, Bill. I mean, I don't know if we can pick and choose what you want to take away from the property owner as far as their
I'm not taking
maintenance.
anything away. I'm not taking anything away.
Well-
I'm trying to get something accomplished here.
Okay, then we
Doesn't
need,
that mean their assessments have to go up? We're talking nickel dime.
but we don't know
All these
that.
people-
We don't know that. If we clean their sidewalks, believe me, hey, it costs you $3 for a
Not their
gallon of gas.
sidewalks. It's our
Cost,
sidewalks.
I just assume, we got a bid from a guy too, for $20 he'll come and clean the sidewalk and the gutter. So I just assume pay him out of my pocket, come clean my sidewalk and my gutter, and you leave the rest of my property alone.
I just assume you pay them
All
out
the
of your pocket.
foreclosures, everybody would get done all at one time. It's small potatoes.
Well, they're not paying
All right,
us.
I'm not gonna keep
Okay.
talking.
We'll get through that with the
No.
TV. You got 10 minutes.
The whole thing is, I think before